Hello, magandang gabi po. At pag-usapan natin itong napabalita ngayon na pangalawang disqualification case na naisampa laban kay Erwin Tesiba Tulfo alias Rich Sylvester Tulfo. At naibalita ito sa mga klase-klaseng mga news outlets kasama ng ABS-CBN, GMA, kasama na kung sino-sino pa. May mga diaryong iba sa Philstar, ganun din. Okay, sa Inquirer, ganun din. At lumalabas dito ay minamaliit ni Erwin Tulfo. Siya nag-comment kagad. Ang comment niya kagad, pinamaliit niya tayo at minamaliit din ang reklamo. Pero higit sa pagmamaliit niya, mas minaliit niya ang pagkatao ko. Tinawag niya ko disbarred na abogado at saka na tinanggal ng COMELEC na kandidato dahil panggulo lamang ako daw na kandidato. So, nuisance kung tawagin. So, yan po ang sinasabi niya. Well, basahin ko yung statement niya, pero bago yan lahat, ipakita ko muna yung balita na kung saan ay binalita ng DCWB na kung paano ang nagsampa ako ng reklamo. Sa totoo lang, Betong, no? Magandang gabi. Tinago ko ito, hindi ko ito sinabi sa mga media. Pero magaling talaga sila maghanap. Nakita pa nila, nalaman nila, nagsampa ako ng kaso. Ayan, iparinig ko sa inyo itong balita ni Luisito Santos ng Super Radio Double B. Okay.
Mula kay Luisito Santos, LA.
Isang panibagong disqualification petition ang isinampa sa Commission on Elections o COMELEC laban kay Representative Erwin Tulfo para sa pagtakbo nito sa Senado sa 2025 election. Ayon kay COMELEC Chairman George Erwin Garcia, inihain ang petisyon ni Bertini, Catalunya, Kausing at ng Craft Free Philippines Foundation Incorporated. Sinabi ni Garcia na issue sa political dynasty ang ground sa panibagong disqualification petition laban sa kongresista. Ayon pa kay Garcia, ito na ang ikalawang disqualification case na isinampa sa kanila laban sa mambabatas. Kamakailan ay isang disqualification case din ang isinampa laban dito at sa mga kaanak nito na tumatakbo sa iba't ibang posisyon sa election 2025, kini sa umani mga issue tungkol sa kanilang pagka-Pilipino at pagiging bahagi ng isang political dynasty. Ako, si Luisito Santos sa GMA Super Radio DCWB. Dapat!
Okay, ayan pag binalita ng DCWB at pupunta tayo ngayon sa balita ng mga dyaryo naman. Ito naman po ang balita ng unahin ko yung binalita sa labas sa Philippine Star. Ay, hindi pala ito. Ito. So ito, kung mabasa ninyo, yan po yung balita sa Philippine Star. At sinabi rito na ako nga raw si Bertini Catalunya Kausing ay nagsampa at kasama ko ang Craft Free Philippine Foundation ay nagsampa ng kasong disqualification laban kay Erwin Tulfo. Dito kinikwento rin dito basically kung anong kinikwento sa sa DCWB, ganun din kinuwento rito, pero dito pinangalanan na yung first disqualification case ay hindi lamang kay Erwin Tulfo, kundi kasama si Ben Tulfo at kasama rin ang kanyang hipag nila na si Jocelyn Puwa Tulfo na asawa ni Rapi Tulfo na tumatakbo na pagka-party list congressman ilalim ng ACT-CIS party list. At yung party list na inagaw lamang kay Sammy Pagdilaw na original na ACT-CIS. Tapos sinampahan din kasama rin dito si Ralph Tulfo, Ralph Windel Pua Tulfo, na anak ni Rafi Tulfo na congressman sa 2nd District ng Quezon City, na tumatakbo rin siya sa ngayon. At kasama rin sa kinasuhan si Wanda Tulfo Teo, na kapatid ni Rafi, ni Ben at saka ni Erwin, na dating tourism secretary na naakusahan noon kasama si Ben at saka si Erwin na nangulimbat ng 60 million pesos na pera ng pang-advertisement ng Department of Tourism. At sa ngayon ay tumatakbo si Wanda Tulfo Teo sa congressman sa ilalim ng Turismo Party List. Ayan po yung mga ginagawa nila. So, dati sa mga akusasyon naman ng unang disqualification case na sinampa ni Attorney Virgilio Garcia, kung di ako nagkamali, si Attorney Garcia, ay ang kanyang basihan ay anti-dynasty ang nangyari. So, ang kanya ay nakikita ko na iisa lamang ang kanyang basihan, anti-dynasty. Pero sa akin, mamaya i-discuss ko po, ay 5 po ang basihan natin. So, lipat na naman tayo. Ito naman sa GMA7. Sa GMA7, halos ganun din ang balita. Pareha din, pero iba-iba lang pagkasulat, syempre. Ito naman GMA7. Another disqualification case versus Erwin Tulfo filed. So, yan ang pagkasulat dito. Sinulat ito ni Sandy Lucas ng GMA Integrated News. Ayon sa kanya, Axia's party list representative Erwin Tulfo is facing another disqualification case over multiple grounds involving disqualification due to a libel conviction in 2008. In a 28-page petition filed Tuesday, Berteni Kausing said Tulfo should be disqualified from running for senator after he was convicted of 4 counts of libel in 2008. This involves moral turpitude, which is a basis for disqualification under Section 12 of the Omnibus Election Code. Kausing likewise accused Tulfo of violating a provision for equal access to opportunities for public service and the prohibiting of anti-political dynasty. He also questioned Tulfo's citizenship as well as his academic qualifications. These 4 counts of libel must be served successively, so the existence of moral turpitude runs 5 years for every count and will expire in 20 years for all the 4 counts from the service or execution of the sentence. The petition reads, even if Erwin Teshiba Tulfo has paid 4 fines, the moral turpitude disqualification for 5 years of each sentence has been attached to his person for 20 years from payment of the fines because he had 4 counts to serve successively, it added. So, according to Kausing, the moral turpitude disqualification can end at the earliest by the year 2028 if he paid the fines in 2008. In 2008, the Supreme Court affirmed the libel conviction of Tulfo in connection with a series of articles he wrote in 1999 regarding an allegedly corrupt customs official. Meanwhile, sa US citizenship naman na tinira ko, sabi naman ng GMA7, meanwhile, Kausing alleged that Tulfo is not a Filipino citizen as he failed to renounce his US citizenship. He also said he completed the acts needed to be considered a US citizen when he applied for a passport and took an oath as a US Army member. Because it is established that Erwin Tulfo is the same person who used the US passport in the name of Erich Sylvester Tulfo, and the fact that he has not renounced his American citizenship, he is not a Filipino, at least constructively, the petition said. Political dynasty. Further, the petitioner said Tulfo violated the anti-political dynasty and the provision ensuring equal access to opportunities when he ran for senator due to his affiliation with his brother and incumbent senator, Rafi Tulfo. By persisting in filing their certificates of candidacy, banking only on their extreme popularity with the voters, despite their knowledge that they are not schooled on how to do the job of a senator, brothers Erwin and Ben Tulfo effectively removed others from equal access to opportunities for the two positions in the Senate. The petition added. COMELEC Chairperson George Erwin Garcia said the petition will be raffled to one of their divisions on Thursday, February 27. Tulfo said he has yet to receive a copy of the petition. However, he expressed commitment to file an answer to the case. Iginagalang ko po ang kanyang karapatan magsampa ng reklamo at pinaubaya ko sa COMELEC ang pagusga. Meanwhile, Garcia said the COMELEC First Division is set to issue a disposition to proceed or dismiss the petition regarding the disqualification case filed against Tulfo on Monday, March 3. There will be an order to be released by the division on Monday, said Garcia. Either mag-issue ng summons or ma-dismiss outright ang petition kasi may nakitang defect sa petition, Garcia said. They will either issue a summons outrightly dismiss the petition because they saw defects. So, ibig sabihin, sa unang petition na sinampa ni Attorney Virgilio Garcia, lumalabas na ang gusto palabasin ni Erwin Tulfo, ni George Erwin Garcia, ay may depekto. Mayroong defect. So, kung ano man depekto, hindi natin alam. Siguro lang ay, ano lang yun, ang defect, tawag nito yung technical defect lang yun. Dapat bigyan nila ng due course yun. Dapat atindihin nila. So, ito po yung salita, statement ni Erwin Tulfo. Mayabang na salita niya, pasensya, mayabang talagang dating sa akin. Kung hindi sa iba, pero sa akin po, ordinaryo, na pagtingin ko, pagbasa ko, pagkaintindi ko, ay mayabang po ang dating. So, basahin natin sabay-sabay. Sana ba yun? Ito. Ito, palakihin natin, ha. Ito ang sabi niya. Deputy. So, meron. Deputy Majority Leader Erwin Tulfo, statement on the disqualification case filed by Berteni Causing. Ang kopya ng disqualification case na isinampa laban sa akin ng isang Berteni Causing. O kunwari pa hindi niya ko kilala. Boss Toto nga tawag sa akin nung araw na editor ako sa People's Tonight. Sa akin ng isang Berteni Causing ay hindi pa opisyal na tinanggap ng aming kampo. Ngunit bilang bahagi ng proseso sa hustisya na umiiral sa ating bansa, ay nakahanda po akong sagutin ang kaso ng isinampa ni Causing. Dinugtungan pa niya na isang abogadong tinanggalan ng lisensya at dineklarang panggulo lang o nuisance candidate sa darating na 2025 senatorial election. Iginagalang ko po ang kanyang karapatan na magsampa ng reklamo at pinaubaya ko sa COMELEC ang paghusga. So, yan. So, una, minaliit niya ako na tinanggalan ng lisensya. O, sige, ito lang yung sasagot ko dito. Humble naman ako. Unang-una, hindi ako mayaman na kasing yaman mo. Hindi pa ako kumita ng pera kagaya ng kinita mo na marami ka pong naluko. Mr. Erwin Tulfo, marami po, ayon kay Ning Santos, kayo po ay kumukubra ng 6,000 kada buwan mula sa customs. Tapos, ayon pa ito sa aking nakalap, kumukubra ka ng 2 milyon sa Pangasinan kay Mr. Cesar Cambao na siyang hari ng STL sa Pangasinan. 2 milyon kada buwan. Kay Ben Tulfo, 2 milyon din. Kay Rafi Tulfo, 2 milyon din. Kay Ramon Tulfo, 2 milyon din. So, ako wala akong pera, pero kayo maraming pera. Kasi buwan-buwan marami kayong kinukolekta. Tapos, sa PCSO naman, yung kapatid mo si Rafi, ay may kinukolekta na 5 milyon kada buwan. Yan. Kaya po, nung nag-imbestiga si Rafi Tulfo doon sa mga fake lotto winners, ay tinigil niya kagad. Kunwari, palabas na lang yun para hindi sabihin ng mga tao na nagke-claymore, salitang claymore, I'm borrowing it from the words or from the word or from the mouth of Chis Escudero. Kasi ang clamor daw kay dapat imbestigahan. So, inimbestigahan niya isang araw lang. Tapos yung kasunod na investigasyon ay wala na. Drama-drama na lang. Ganon po si Rapi Tulfo, ganon din po si Erwin Tulfo, ganon din si Ben Tulfo. Puro po sila mga budol. Tama si Bantag sa pagsabi niyan, mga budol. Kaya si Bantag nagtatago. Dapat hindi ka nagtatago. Dapat harapin mo problema mo kung totoo kang lalaki. Dapat harapin mo yung kaso, yung trial sa pagpapatay mo kay Percy Lapid. Alam mo, talking of Percy Lapid, ang kinatakutan talaga ng mga Tulfo brothers, si Percy Lapid. Si Percy Lapid, siniwalat na sila na si Erwin Tulfo po, ay noong 1984, ay siya po ay nag-reporter ng Malaya newspaper at kumukover siya sa airport. Ang mga reporter kasi sa airport, kani-kanyang racket yan. May mga racket dyan na nag-escort ng mga illegal alien para makapasok sa bansa o makalabas na walang huli. May racket dyan na nag-escort ng mga smuggled na mga galing sa ibang bansa. May nagra-racket dyan na nag-escort ng mga dollars na tinutulak sa cart, dadalhin isakay sa aeroplano. So, hindi sila ginagalaw ng mga bantay sa airport. Ito si Erwin Tulfo, ayon kay Percy Lapid, ay nahuli dyan ng ABSICOM, Aviation Security Command, na nagtutulak ng isang karito ng dollars. Nung nahuli siya, ay ang panahon noon, dollar salting yun, sa panahon na yun, ang parusa ay kamatayan. Ganun katindi si Marcos. Katatapos lamang ni Marcos mapapiring squad nung araw na yun si Limsing dahil sa droga. So ngayon, ito naman, natatakot naman si Ramon Tulfo, tinawagan niya si Fabian Ber. Kasi malakas, ginamit niya ang lakas niya, kapag kakaibigan niya kay Fabian Ber, pinakiusapan na huwag hulihin ang kapatid niya si Erwin Tulfo. Kaya ang nangyari kay Erwin Tulfo, pinasibat na lang nila kasi magagalit si Apo Lakay kay Fabian Ber kung malaman na mayroong nahuli na hindi malang hinuli. Kaya ang ginawa, pinasibat sa Amerika. Yan po ang kwento kung bakit nagpunta na sa Amerika yan. At nagtiinti daw siya, hindi naman siya nagtiinti. Nagkaroon naman siya ng passport. Mamaya, ikukwento ko. Basahin ko lahat para malaman nyo kung ano talagang totoo sa pagkatao nito. Bodos ito. So, ganun po katindi yung taong ito. So, ngayon, ano pag sinabi niya sa akin? Nuisance, pampagulo. Anyway, at least hindi ako nagnakaw ng pera. Ganun lang kasimple po. Yun, Mr. Erwin Tulfo. Ikaw, ang dami mo ng pera. Tapos, nakipaglaro ka pa kay Atong Ang doon sa kahit bawal na yung isabong para naman maprotektahan mo siya kasi hindi ka gagalawin ni BBM dahil nung ikaw ay secretary ng DSWD, nagpartner kayo ni Atong Ang. Nagpapalabas kayo ng isabong at kunwari mag-donate si Atong Ang ng pera para sa DSWD na project na bibigyan mga bata, mga mahirap, kung sino pang iba, para pangtabon sa mga illegal na ginagawa sa isabong. Ganun po yun. So ito ilalagay nyo ba sa pagkasenado? Ganun? So yan ang mga diniscuss ko po doon. Anyway, balikan natin. Sa ngayon, para maintindihan ninyo yung anong issue talaga, ito po ay ipinisenta ko ang kopya ng aking petition for disqualification. Ito po ang aking petition for disqualification na sinampa ko sa COMELEC noong Lunes. Ito po yun. Ayan Bertini, Catalonia Kausing. Ako yan. Aka Toto Bunyog Kausing. Graft Free Philippines Foundation represented by Diosdado Villar Calonge and Diosdado Villar Calonge na siyang president ng Graft Free Philippines Foundation Incorporated. So, ito po ang laman yan. Pero bago ako ito nabasa, ay nais kong batiin ng ilan, no? Namata Shirashi, Tiusas, Jennifer Jel, Adrianel de la Cruz, Omriax, Bernie Pinto, Natasha Ricci, Tiusias, hirap basahin naman itong pangalan mo. Charlie Mojico, Imor Nival, okay, yung sana kung makipagdebate ako eh. Hinahamon ko si Erwin Tulfo na magdebate kami. Hertilian, Silver Bullet, John Cabinbin, Kabunyog, tapos Led Viga, Imor Nibal, Percival Roque, Silver Bullet, si Regine Ford, si Roquiat, si Bautista Jones. Mahangin talaga yan. Tama, sabi niya. Presperes, Mayap Abengi, sa mga Naimbag Rabim, sa mga kabsat ko. Polo Carpio, more power, engineer for your unyielding advocacy. Abit Bautista, good PM po. Eddie Fulgencio, good morning or good evening. So Felix Zambrano Misahon Jr., Betong, magandang gabi po. Tapos kay John Patrick de Mesa, kay Pagaw Baker, Jennifer Diel, tapos maraming salamat Edronel de la Cruz sa iyong palipad. Wow, malaki-laki 250 pesos. Dr. Engineer, sabi ni Pagaw Baker, Dr. Engineer Toto Kasing, pag i-dismiss ng Comelec ang petition, alam na this. Pero in-expect ko naman po na i-dismiss yan. Kaya lang doon ko habulin sa Supreme Court yan. So Christopher Medjo, good job. Sir Guyo, good morning, attorney. So ito ngayon, babasahin ko para malaman ninyo. Petition for disqualification of Erwin Tisiba Tulfo. So the petitioners, ako yan, through counsel, in support of this petition to declare respondent Erwin Tisiba Tulfo disqualified from running for senator in the May 2020 national election, respectfully alleged. Ayan. Yan ang mga basihan ko. Summary of the grounds. Number 1, the petition is filed under the following grounds. Still suffering from the 20-year disqualification caused by the moral turpitude in 4 counts of libel. So, 4 na beses po siya nasampahan, sentensyan sa libel. Bawat libel ay may 5 taon na tinatag na moral turpitude. 4 na kaso yun. So, one after the other yan ang pagkaserbisyo. Pagkatapos niya sa unang libel na 5 years, ay kasunod naman, pangalawang libel, 5 years. Pangatlong libel, 5 years. Pang-4 na libel na magiging 20 years ang lahat. Okay? So, iyan po ang basihan namin. Ayon po sa Omnibus Election Code, Section 12, kapag may moral turpitude na sentensyan ka sa isang krimen at may moral turpitude, ikaw ay bawalan tumakbo sa loob ng 5 taon mula sa pagkaserbisyo mo sa sentensya. Halimbawa, kinulong ka, pag natapos ka ng kulong, nakalabas ka, magbibilang na ngayon ang 5 years period. Okay? So kung 4 na krimen, edi 4 din na 5 years. So ganun po ang aking pag-argumento dyan. Next, number 2, ay hindi po siya Filipino citizen. Mamaya, discuss ko din mamaya. Tapos, pangatlong rason ay nilabag niya po ang equal access to opportunities to public service clause sa Section 26 ng Article 2 ng ating 1987 Constitution. Next ay nilabag niya ang political dynasty provision na nakasulat sa Section 26, Article 2 of the 1987 Constitution at nabigo siya na patunayan na mayroon siyang sapat na academic na qualification para mapatunayan na may pinag-aralan pa siya para pwede siyang sabihin na magserbisyo ng may higit na kagiliwan o paano mo sabihin ito na very efficient ang serbisyo mo. So, ang sinasabi sa Constitution Section 1, Article 11 ay dapat ang lahat ng mga public servants ay mag-serve sa people, sa tao, manilbihan sa tao na may pinakamatinding responsibilidad, pinakamatinding integridad, pinakamatinding loyalty o katapatan, at pinakamatindi na kagalingan sa pagtatrabaho. Okay? Diretso tayo, parties. Ako lang naman, kaming dalawa ni Attorney Justado Calonge. na dating ombudsman lawyer. Ngayon, ang kasama namin sa pagkaso dito, yung kanyang organisasyon na Graft-Free Philippines Foundation Incorporated. So, okay, diretso na tayo ngayon sa cause of the disqualification. So, pakinggan ninyo, basahin ko lang sa English kung paano ko po inargumento yung may moral turpitude siya for 20 years. The first case of action against the respondent, against Erwin Tulfo, is he is disqualified from running for senator in the May 12, 2025 elections because he was convicted of 4 counts of libel that became final after these were affirmed by the Supreme Court. These libel cases are judicial notice and are readable in the Supreme Court case entitled Erwin Tulfo versus People, GR number 161032, September 16, 2008. Number 10, a copy of this Tulfo versus People is attached hereto as Annex B, which is also of judicial notice to the COMELEC. The 4 counts of libel involve moral turpitude, which is a disqualification under Section 12 of the Omnibus Election Code. These 4 counts of libel must be served successively, so the existence of the moral turpitude runs 5 years for every count and will expire in 20 years for all the 4 counts from the service or execution of the sentence. It is declared that libel involves moral turpitude as declared in Delgado T. versus Philip A. Pichay, GR number 219603, January 26, 2016. A copy of this Delgado T. case is attached here to as Annex C, which is also a judicial notice to the COMELEC. In this case of Delgado T., Pichay was disqualified for the same 4 crimes of libel for which Erwin Tulfo is also the principal offender. So isang kaso lang sila ni Pichay. Si Pichay tumakbo ng congressman sa Surigao City, sa Surigao del Sur. Penitisyonan siya ni Delgado, ay natalo siya kay Delgado. At dineklara ng Supreme Court na disqualified si Pichay dahil sa libel na nakonvict siya ng libel. Number 16, there is no record showing that Erwin Teshiba Tulfo has served the 4 counts of libel, presuming that he has not been serving the sentence. So, Erwin Tulfo is barred under Section 12 of the Omnibus Election Code. Yan ang batas. Section 12, disqualifications. Itong batas Any person who has been declared by the competent authority insane or incompetent authority or has been sentenced by final judgment, morality, insurrection, rebellion, or for any offense for which he has been sentenced to a penalty of more than 18 months or for a crime involving moral turpitude shall be disqualified to be a candidate and to hold any office unless he has been given plenary pardon or granted amnesty. So yan ang Section 12. The disqualifications to be a candidate herein provided shall be deemed removed upon the declaration by competent authority that said insanity or incompetence had been removed or after the expiration of a period of 5 years from the service of sentence, unless within the same period he again becomes disqualified. Number 18, even if Erwin Teshiba Tulfo has paid the 4 fines, the moral turpitude disqualification for 5 years of every sentence has been attached to his person for 20 years from the payment of the fines because he had 4 cases. So in Article 70 of the Revised Penal Code, there is no provision that says that fine is in the nature that can be served simultaneously. So even if Erwin Teshiba Tulfo paid the fines imposed on him for the 4 counts of libel, his moral turpitude disqualification cannot be served simultaneously but successively. This means that the 5-year period of disqualification must be served successively. If it is, then the moral turpitude disqualification of Erwin Tulfo can end at the earliest by the year 2028. Besides, there is no evidence showing when Erwin Teshiba Tulfo complied with the decree of the Honorable Court insofar as the order for him to pay the fines for the 4 counts of libel. he presented as Exhibit 4 of his verified answer filed at the COMELEC in SP number 2023-001, which only proves that the defendants have fully complied with the order of the court upon payment of the sum of blank, without specifically mentioning that Erwin Tulfo had been paid the fines meted out on him. So, in other words, yung pinakitang papel ay wala nakasulat doon na bayad na siya sa multa sa korte. Tapos, number 25 paragraph, he also presented Exhibit 5 of his verified answer filed at the same time, which only proves that it only dealt with accused Pichay and not Erwin Tulfo. Kasi nga, wala pa, hindi pa tumatakbo si Erwin noon. He also presented Exhibit 6 that proves that the court only lifted the HDO or whole departure order against Erwin Tulfo, and this order was issued on 17 October 2022. So, he is also not a Filipino. Yan ang pangalawang ground ko. The second cause of action for this disqualification is that respondent Erwin Orerich Sylvester Tulfo is a citizen of the United States of America and is not a Filipino. The only way for a Filipino, for a former Filipino to be considered a dual citizen is when he applied for dual status under Republic Act 9225. Erwin claimed he did not renounce his U.S. citizenship because he claimed he was not considered a U.S. citizen by the U.S. Embassy officials when he surrendered his U.S. passport that he had been using under the name Rich Sylvester Tulfo. See this at this link. It's https://www.youtube.com/live/it's BMS ZGI3KO. Get mo? Okay. So, in other words, yan po yung link. Pag kinlik mo, ay mabubukas kagad ang YouTube na kung saan umamin si Erwin Tulfo sa interview kay Sharon Cunita na siya daw ay anyway, ito interview pala ito kay Anthony Taberna na inamin niya na hindi na siya nag-renounce. So, kung hindi siya nag-renounce, ayon sa kanya, si Rich naman daw siya, si Erwin naman daw siya, hindi naman si Rich, kaya yung sinabi niya, paliwanag, na hindi na siya nag-renounce. So, number 30, Erwin said he was not allowed by the officials he talked to at the U.S. Embassy to do so in renouncing because he had nothing to renounce. Because Erwin Teshiba Tulfo was not a U.S. citizen. And it was Rich Sylvester Tulfo who was the U.S. citizen. Ayun. Sinabi niya rin ito dito sa live show ni Anthony Taberna. Number 31, in other words, he admitted he was holding a U.S. citizenship under the name of Rich Sylvester Tulfo since 1991. In addition, Erwin Tulfo admitted holding a Social Security identification card and the name Rich Sylvester Tulfo and the driver's license also in the name of Rich Sylvester Tulfo. Nevertheless, he was deemed to have admitted as the holder of the Rich Sylvester Tulfo U.S. passport since 1991 because he submitted to the Philippine Congress Commission on Appointments this document showing that he surrendered to the U.S. Embassy in Manila the passport in the name of Rich Sylvester Tulfo and the Social Security card of Rich Sylvester Tulfo. A copy of this document showing his surrender of the U.S. passport and the Social Security card on June 27, 2022 is attached to us Annex D, which was certified true by the COMELEC as a true copy. Number 35, the document submitted by Attorney Moises Tolentino Jr. in his petition for disqualification filed against Erwin Orerich when Erwin was about to be proclaimed as the third representative Vice Jeffrey Soriano for AXIA's party listing records of the COMELEC. Subsequently, when the respondent was listed fourth among the 5 nominees of AXIA's party list, he was still carrying a U.S. passport. In fact, it was just issued to him on August 6, 2021 barely 2 months before he ran as a candidate and issued his passport. The petition of Tolentino was docketed as SPA number 23-001. These documents of Attorney Tolentino are adopted in this petition by reference as integral parts thereof. All these documents are of judicial notice to the COMELEC and to respondent Erwin Tisiba Tulfo or Rich Sylvester Tulfo. At any rate, the same documents of Erwin or Rich in the Commission on Appointments and in the COMELEC's custody are of judicial notice to the COMELEC. One of the documents obtained from the Commission on Election is this document dated October 11, 2022, which is a letter of the U.S. Embassy to Erwin Tisiba Tulfo, a certified copy of which is attached here to as Annex E. The October 11, 2022 document reads, yan, pag binasa mo yan, sa Tagalog pa, ay nirubok ang passport ni Rich Sylvester Tulfo na inisyu noong 1991, nirenew noong 2001, nirenew ulit noong 2011, at nirenew ulit noong 2021. Sa pangalan ni Rich Sylvester Tulfo, ni-revoke ng US Embassy dito sa Manila. At saka pinasuko sa kanya yung passport at saka yung SSSID. So Erwin Tulfo also submitted this October 11, 2022 letter which he himself signed or acknowledged to have received on page 3 thereof as Erwin T. Tulfo, aka Erich S. Tulfo, to the Commission on Appointments. Buti hindi siya buti hindi siya tinira. So, kahit na ang ginawa lang ng Commission on Appointments ay hindi na lang siya tinanggap. Hindi na lang siya kinasuhan din. So, number 43, it is stated in the records of the case of Erwin aka Rich Sylvester Tulfo with the Commission on Appointments that he submitted as his affidavits. It is also stated in the records of the COMELEC that Erwin to the CA copies of this income tax return and these are adopted here. So, nagsubmit po siya ng kanyang income tax return. So, Section 3 of Article 6 of the Constitution prohibits any person from running for senator if he is not natural-born Filipino citizen. Because it is established that Erwin Tulfo is the same person who used the U.S. passport in the name of Rich Sylvester Tulfo, he should be disqualified. Ganun na po kasimple. Constructively. So, ang haba nito, no? So, pangalawang rason ko, punta tayo direct na ito sa pangatlong rason. So, equal access doctrine. Ang equal access doctrine po, nakalagay po yan sa Section 26, paragraph, Article 2 ng ating Constitution na nagsasabi, the state shall guarantee equal access to opportunities in the public service. Yan sinasabi yan. So, paano magkaroon ng equal opportunity kung tatlo sila o dalawa sila o tatlo na silang senador? Sure winner pa naman sila. So, wala nang opportunity na equal ang iba. Ganun po ang aking pagkapaliwanag dyan. At siyempre, dahil utos ng Supreme Court yan, hindi mo pwede labagin yan. Dito, nilalabag niya sa pagsampay ng kapatid niya ng sabay-sabay na senatorial para sumali sila doon kay Rapi Tulfo. Kaya the running of Erwin Tulfo to the position of senator simultaneously with his brother Bienvenido Ben Tisiba Tulfo and the fact that their brother Rapi Tulfo is an incumbent senator constitute along with the fact that Erwin Ben are topping the service constitute a violation of Section 26 of Article 2 of the 1987 Constitution. So the provision reads, the state shall guarantee equal access to opportunities for public service. Yan po ang ating tinitingnan. There are two constitutional laws that are stated in Section 26. The first provision states that the state shall guarantee equal access to opportunities for public service. The second provision states that the state shall prohibit political dynasty as may be defined by law. ito lang pwede paghimusukan ng korte. Let us consider the first provision of this discussion. Respondents Erwin Tesiba Tolpo and Ben Tesiba Tolpo and their brother Rafi Tesiba Tolpo knew they have been extremely popular among Filipino voters. In fact, they are even ranking number 1 and number 2 in political surveys. Both Erwin and Ben Tolpo, in filing their certificate of candidacy, Erwin and Ben knew that if they will run for senator at the same time, they would deprive the rest of the Filipinos of equal access to opportunities for public service as senators. Insofar as two Senate seats that would go to Erwin and Ben are concerned. With this, respondents Erwin and Ben knew, under ordinary sense, would be defeating the policy of the Constitution. So makapal pa rin ang mukha, ang kanila mukha, nagsampa pa rin. So saan diretsyo na tayo dito sa ano? Section 26 also says that the kind of political power as may be defined by law. Yan. Sinasabi niyang political dynasty ay defined ng batas dito sa Section 26. If the constitutional phrase is political dynasty, that shall be defined by law. Then it means that there is no law that defines that defines political dynasty. The Supreme Court or COMELEC cannot implement political dynasty prohibition without a law defining the same. So yan ang argumento din nila ni Erwin Tolpo at Erwin Tolpo. Tumatakbo kami pero walang batas na nagsasabi kung ano ang political dynasty. But the phrase adopted by the Constitution is political dynasty as may be defined by law. Thus, it is not absolutely necessary or mandatory that there must first be an enabling law for the political dynasty prohibition to apply. Okay. Section 26 is being reiterated. Sabi ko sa Section 26, pag tungkol naman sa political dynasty, the state shall guarantee equal access to opportunities for public service and prohibit political dynasties as may be defined by law. Mayroong salitang may. Ibig sabihin, optional. Optional lang na i-define ng batas. Pwedeng i-apply kahit walang batas. Kasi nga, ang argumento ko, may lang ang sinasabi. So it means that the Constitution permits an ordinary meaning of what is political dynasty, which can be defined from experience that is reasonably understood by all ordinary voters in the Philippines. The COMELEC is authorized to make a preliminary interpretation, which, of course, is subject to the final determination that may be made by the Supreme Court that is empowered to interpret. In the ordinary meaning of the word political dynasty, there is no dispute that the act of Erwin Tesiba Tolpo of running for the Senate along with his brother Benvenido Ben Tolpo violates the political dynasty prohibition of the Constitution, even when made worse with one brother already an incumbent senator. A copy of the certificate of candidacy of Ben Tolpo is attached here too. Completing the political dynasty is the fact that their brother Rafi Tesiba Tolpo is an incumbent senator, which fact is of judicial notice to the COMELEC and the Supreme Court. Okay. So Section 26, Article 2 cannot be set aside just because there is no law defining political dynasty for the specific purpose of Section 26. Being clearly and undisputedly dynastic, it does not need a law, but only an interpretation by the Supreme Court that has the power to interpret what political dynasty is. Between or among brothers or sisters, or parents and children running for the same position, there is no need for a law. So being a brother or sister, number 121, between or among brothers or sisters, or parents and children running for the same position, even if there is no law what is political dynasty? This is out and out a political dynasty because they are being brothers and sisters. Di ba? Oh. Sinabi ko, being a brother or sister of a parent or child needs no definition for it to be readily identified as a dynasty. So Erwin, Ben, and Rafi are brothers of each other. So there is no issue that they all fall within the natural definition of political dynasty. So ngayon, hinihambing ko rin dito ang definition ng political dynasty sa batas ng nepotism. Ang batas po ng nepotism ay nagbabawal po na mai-appoint ang iyong kamag-anak sa opisina kung saan ikaw ay boss. So ngayon, parang nepotism din ito yung paghalal. Kasi ina-apply lamang nepotism sa mga mga natalaga na mga public officers. So number 1 to 4, now there is a synonymous definition in law, and this law stated that under the revised rules of administrative cases in the civil service, penalizes nepotism with dismissal from the service. O, kailangan may nepotism itong mga politiko na kapatid, asawa ang kanilang kasama, mayor, vice mayor. Dito, pare-pareho silang senador. So it is admitted that the law nepotism prohibits an appointing officer to appoint a relative up to first degree cousins or fourth degree relationship by consanguinity or affinity. For sure, the political dynasty referred to in Section 26 of Article 2 of the Constitution is synonymous with nepotism, and there are actually laws that prohibit nepotisms. O ngayon, for sure, the political dynasty referred to in Section 26 of Article 2 of the Constitution is synonymous with nepotism. And there are actually laws that prohibit appointments by an appointing authority. That is called the law on nepotism. Number 27. Up to this point, the petitioners take the position that there is actually no need for a law to execute the constitutional prohibition against political dynasty. What may be unclear or debatable that needs a clear law is a political dynasty among relatives outside brothers, sisters, siblings, parents, and children. Kaya gano'n nga nangyari. Next is existence of two laws. Ano ba? May dalawang batas na pala tayo eh. Kaya dapat ipatupad kasi mayroon na pala tayong batas tayo. Kaya fake news na pag sinabi ni Erwin Tulfo na walang batas at saka ni Ben Tulfo. So sinabi sa number 129, nevertheless, the Philippines has two laws on political dynasty applicable to political position aspirants. We have the Bangsamoro Electoral Code that prohibits relatives within the second degree by affinity or consanguinity to simultaneously file their candidacies. Mas nauna pa sa atin ang Bangsamoro sa paggawa ng political dynasty na batas. Number 131, the code can be accessed at this link. Yung code ng batas ng Bangsamoro, pwede nyo i-upload yan. Kunin sa official gazette, bangsamoro.gov.ph. Okay? So Section 9, Paragraph D of Article 3 of the Bangsamoro Electoral Code provides, nominees submitted by a political party shall not be related to each other within the second degree of consanguinity or affinity. Violations in this case. Okay, moreover, Sangguniang Kabataang Reform Act of 2015, ito pa, nagbabawal din sa mga sangguniang kabataan na mga kabataan na magsampa ng kandidatura para kagawad o SK chairman kung may kamag-anak sila na second degree sa presidente, vice president, o di kay senador, o di kaya doon sa kanilang lugar, sa gobernador, vice gobernador, o sa mayor, o sa vice mayor, o sa konsehares, o sa vocalist, o sa congressman. Bawal po yan. Nakalagay dito, must not be related within the second degree, civil degree of consanguinity or affinity to any incumbent. So, dinagdag na kaso yan. Okay? Erwin Tulfo and Ben Tulfo are related to Senator Rafi Tulfo with the second degree by consanguinity because it is already defined by a law that political dynasty includes those who run at the same time in the same legal body, like what is Erwin Tisiba Tulfo and Benedict Tisiba Tulfo did. It makes them disqualified to run for the same collegial body. Yan. Ngayon, ang kinakatwiran ni Erwin Tulfo at ni Ben Tulfo, ay, hayaan mong tao mamili. Hayaan mo tao magdidesisyon. Desisyon nyo yan, bye. Gaganon si Erwin Tulfo. Pero, sinabi ko rito sa argumento ko, the voice of the people doctrine does not apply. Hindi nag-apply dito ang voice of the people. Bakit? There is no dispute that the voice of the people is the voice of God, or vox populi, vox Dei. There's also no question that the welfare of the people is supreme, or salus populi est suprema lex. Moreover, the people have already spoken and ratified the 1987 Constitution. Okay? So, however, the people have already spoken and ratified. Sabi ko nga, hindi po pwede yun kasi bakit? Nagsalita na po ang tao noong 1987 nang pinabutuhan nila na tanggapin natin ang konstitusyon ng ginawa. Okay, so ibig sabihin, kung nakalagay sa konstitusyon na bawal, ay hindi natin pwedeng suwagin yun. Kahit sabihin natin na majority votes pa tayo. Ang ibig lamang sabihin yan ay, nakakontrata na kasi tayo. May pinirmahan na tayo na konstitusyon at hindi tayo pwede lumabag sa kontrata na ating nilagdaan o binoto. Ganun lang kasimple yan. Next, the said ratification is the most sacred and most formal act of the people in 1987. The Constitution is the highest law of the land that was appropriated and approved and voted for by the people in the plebiscite called for the purpose. The people who ratified the Constitution in 1987 were fully informed during the campaign that their votes did not include the perpetual voting of officials to power or did not include the voting of candidates to political positions in violation of the creation of political dynasties. Number 142, the ratification voting in 1987 was linking. In other words, the people who ratified the Constitution in 1987 were fully informed during the campaign that their votes did not include the perpetual voting of officials to power or did not include the voting of candidates to political positions in violation of the creation of political dynasties. The ratification voting in 1987 was limited only to the following: that they were building their nation called the Republic of the Philippines, that they were building the so-called tenants. They are building they were allocating powers into every office, that the people were defining how the elected officials be elected, that the people were setting the qualifications for elected positions, that they limited their power to elect by means of setting up limitations that included the 3-term limits to local officials and congressional officials, and the 2-term limit to senators, as well as the single-term limit to the office of the president, among others. So on the other hand, during the election for various elected positions, including those for national positions, the people are aware that they are not amending the Constitution to remove the term limits, amending the Constitution. Okay, antok ako kundi, pasensya na. Okay, academic qualifications, itong pinaka-novel ko na argumento, bagong-bagong argumento. Ang sabi ko dito, dahil hindi ka nag-aral sa batas, hindi ka kahit malang aral, hindi na kinakailangan maging abogado ka. Basta nakapag-aral ka lang sa batas kung paano gumawa ng batas, ay kailangan mayroong kang qualification at ito ay dapat patunayan mo. At dahil hindi mo pinatunayan na may qualification ka, ay disqualified ka na. So, ibig sabihin, hindi po pwede sabihin na mag-apply yung doktrina na hindi na kailangan na ikaw ay graduate na kung anong kurso. Kasi sinasabi daw, must be able to read and write. Hindi po, mali po. Na-discover ko na po, binasa ko na po yung Article 11, Section 1 at nagsasabi na kinakailangan ng kwalifikasyon ng isang tatakbo o magpapahalal. So sinabi ko, academic qualifications. It is not true that there is no requirement from political candidates to show academic qualifications first before they are allowed to run. So, magpakita ka muna, may graduate ka, diploma ko, ano, bago ka patanggapin ang iyong kandidatura. Ganun ang ibig sabihin nito. And this qualification must be one commensurate to the position. So, ibig sabihin, kung ano ang qualification na hanap, kung magiging mayor ka, hindi ka nahanapan na magiging na nagkapag-aral ka ng law o kung ano, any other course will do. Pero kung konsihal, di okay lang yan. Kailangan may alam ka rin ng kunting alam sa batas. Pagsasagawa ng batas din kasi yan eh. Kaya kung tatakbo ka congressman, ganun din ang hanapin sa'yo na kwalifikasyon. Di ba? Ganun lang kasimple. At nakita ko ng argumentong yan nung nabasa ko po uli yung ating constitution. So for one to be a senator, he or she must have studied the basic principles of law. And he or she needs not be a lawyer. Knowledge in law is necessary to have a high level of intelligence and education to decide what laws are needed by the people and what laws would make the lives of the citizens better. This requirement of academic education is required in Section 1 of Article 11 of the Constitution. The Constitution requires efficient public service from all government employees, and they include the elected officials. This is required by the Constitution in Section 1 of Article 11, which says, ito yan sa Article 11 ng ating Constitution, nagsasabi, Section 1, public office is a public trust. Public officers and employees must at all times be accountable to the people, serve them with utmost responsibility, integrity, and loyalty. And efficiency, yan, pinaka na matindi, and efficiency. So, kailangan magserbisyo ka na may responsable ka, may integridad ka, loyal ka, at efficient ka. So, wala kang integridad kung ikaw ay convicted. O, di ba? Convicted sa libel eh. Wala sa integridad. At kailangan, he must act or she must act with patriotism and justice and lead modest lives. Yan ang requirement ng batas. Pero pasensyahan tayo ay hindi man lang nakatupad dito si Erwin Tulfo. So, number 152, if the Constitution requires utmost efficiency at all times from public officers and employees, it also requires the same from elected officials. And there is no other way to achieve utmost efficiency but to require the candidates to be academically prepared. Proof of academic the qualification must be obliged by the candidates. Kailangan, ang proof na papatibay na gumraduate sila ay pakita nila. For senators and representatives, they should know that the work of legislators require knowledge in the basic principle of laws, knowledge on wide range of subject matters, and depth in wisdom. Okay. For senators and representatives, they should know that the work of legislators requires knowledge in the basic principle of laws, knowledge on the wide range of subject matters, and depth in wisdom, and to know what laws should be passed. And yet, both Erwin and Ben Tulfo know that they cannot even give at most efficient public service. They knew they were not schooled to be able to know what good laws to pass, to know the principles of law necessary in every issue, in lawmaking or impeachment process, to know how to propose good laws, and to know how legislation mills are running. So hindi po ito pagbibigay ng ayuda, kagaya ng pinapangako ni Willie Rebillame. Pag-senador ka, paramihin mo yung paghirap sa mahirap, pagtulong sa mahirap. Ano ba yan? Pamimigay ng ayuda, hindi po yan. So 158, by persisting in filing their certificates of candidacy, banking only on their extreme popularity with the voters despite their knowledge that they are not schooled on law on how to do the job of a senator, brothers Erwin and Ben Tulfo effectively removed others from equal access to opportunities for the two positions in the Senate. For sure, respondent Erwin and his brother Ben also knew from the start that they lacked the experience or qualification to perform the lawmaking functions to come up with good laws. So in their speeches, in their political campaigns, Erwin, Ben, and Ben have not even presented their platforms. Wala pa silang plataforma na pinasinta. So by being unfit for legislative functions, Erwin and his brother Ben are effectively disqualified by the Constitution to run for senator. Okay. So tapos na tayo. At least nabasa na ninyo, ha? O 1 oras, tamang-tama. So, ano tayo? Mag-shoutout lang tayo. Okay. Sino pa? Si Eddie Fulgencio, si Felix Zambrano Misahon, Abit Bautista, Pres Perez, Polo Carpio, Bautista Jones, Roquette, Regine Ford, Silver Bullet, Percival Roque, Imor Nival, Led Viga, John Kabinbin. Good evening, Doc Kausing. Inabot ko rin ang live mo. Shout out po sa mga kabunyog, party list sa Antique. Ba, may gabi sa mga kabunyog sa Antique. Silver Bullet, Ilion Hertilian, Torponatics dahil kay Toto Kausing, wag nang iboto kabunyog party list sa opinion ko. Kulang. O dapat mga Torponatics, wag na kayo mubuto dyan. Imon Nival, gusto ko po na panoorin sa inyo, engineer, yung debate nyo. Ay dapat sa sunod ihamon ko sa debate. Charlie Mojica, gandang gabi po, Attorney Kausing. Watching from Camarines Sur, Region 5, Marahay na Banggi, sa mga Bicolano. Natasio Riz, Tiosas. Okay, hindi ko mabasa eh. Basahin ko, Adrianel de la Cruz, salamat sa palipad. So, ngayon, sino pa? Si John Patrick de Mesa. Sino pa? Lito de Torres. Si Braveheart. Toto, saludo ako sa iyo. Salamat po. Victor Tinimbang. Good evening, sir. Mabuhay po kayo. Junar Plaga. Good evening, Brad. God is on your side. Salamat po, Brad. Bobby Bansay. Sobrang yabang ni Erwin. Putol partido ng mga Lacoste. Christopher Miho. Doc, mabuti kong madisqualify. Sana madisqualify ito ng Supreme Court. Rene Ranusa. Attorney, aksyonan kaya kagad ng Comelec. Aksyonan doon nila sa Marso. Tapos Sunderline Celestial. Magandang gabi po. Lito de Torres. Katoto, yung Virgil Garcia ay mukhang may technical dahil sabi ni Comelec Garcia, wala daw nakatas na COC. Sana yung sa inyong kaso, kompleto. Kompleto po ako ng dokumento. May COC po ako. Pero dapat, judicial notice na sa kanila. Hawak nila yung COC. So, Polo Carpio, salamat po sa iyong palipad. Cesar Iriarte, ngayon natin makikita ang Comelec, kumulekta kung nakatingin kayo, Dr. Toto, pagtapos kanila disqualify. Lito de Torres, dapat ma-disqualify, number 1 pa sa survey, kawawa Pilipinas. Godfrey Bawigan, ang dami ng naman dynasty politician, si Atty. Kausing hindi naman yata patas, ireklamo kasi hindi lang naman siya dynasty. Antonio Bensosiso, mabuhay. Lito de Torres, tapos Ilion Hertilian, Romil Bengson, Altea Carolisem Castañas, Ani Gonzales, si Imor Nival. Sandali lang po naka-English kasi Imor eh. Si pwede i-shortcutting ko sa English Tagalog Yoy Ong, Calbuño Katotohanan, Dr. Attorney Berteni, Catalonia Kausing. Now, Anoisans, tomorrow a legend. Tapos Annalise Labaha, Tulpo brothers and families are now the family dynasties in the Philippines because brothers running for Senate, 3 wives running for congressman, children running for congressman. Ano ba yan? Lito de Torres, Janete, tapos si Iwatani Japan, magandang gabi po. Tapos Ruel Cagbay, Crisanto Jesus Mamerta, Edilbert Hilongo, Lee Karandang, tapos Fred Lumba. Huwag natin paniwalaan ng mga survey. Bumoto tayo ayon sa kakayahan ng kandidato. So kung bumoto kayo, piliin nyo dalawa lang ang pamantayan. Katapatan, kakayahan. Ganun lang po. Kakayahan ay madali lang. Tignan mo kung ano siya, ano natapos yan. Definitely, si Willie Revillame wala na, out na. Si Lito Lapid, out na yan. Si Bong Revilla, out na yan. Pagdating naman sa katapatan, sukatin mo sila, anong nakaraan nila? Nakasuhan ba sila sa drugs? Nakasuhan ba sila sa pagnanakaw? Kahit nakasuhan lang, hindi na kailangan na sintensyan. So nakasuhan na si Lito Lapid, si Bong Revilla, o sino pa? Nakasuhan na pagnanakaw. O, huwag nyo na iboto yan. Para sigurado, huwag nyo na iboto lahat ng BBM na puro DDS din yan. At huwag nyo iboto lahat ng DDS. Ganun lang ako kasimple. Ay, John Solis, si Robot Tulfo Brothers, Dong Balansag, dapat alam na kumilik yan. Di sila makakatupad ng batas na yan. Sunny Day, Engineer Toto, good evening po sa lahat. Romy Escobar, tama po kayo, Engineer Toto, dapat lang na madisqualify yung mga tulpo, lalo na yung sobrang yabang, hangin sa ulo, ing si Erwin at Ben Tulpo. Dato Ali, hello idol, si Dato Ali Haidar Hanok. Ito, bagong account kasi, nasira yung cellphone ko dahil sa LCD. Ganun ba? Vibrate ng Redmi, A9 color, nature blue. Okay. Pastor Rodi Rabi, Dato Ali, panoorin mo sa YouTube kung paano lutuin ng chicken para yan lang ulamin. Rodi Rabi, Dato Ali, sa Quiapo o Sampaloc pastil, halal food. Very good. Marami pala sa Quiapo ng pastil, tsaka ng mga halal foods. Sa Rodi Rabi, Antonio Almonte, alam nilang kayang mabudol ang taong bayan at madaling kumita bilang lingkod bayan na nasa kasikatan daw sila kaya apurang makapwesto. Nagyayabang nga eh. Dato Ali, idol, try ikaw kumain ng chicken pastil. Yung meaning yun ang inilagay sa banana wrap. Okay. Hermes Polioso, good evening. Tapos, Natasha Ricci, Tiusas. Tuloy-tuloy na po, ingat po. Ferdinand San Juan, John Candelaria, Christopher Talabucon, Mayong gabi, Engineer Doc Toto Kausing. Saludo na ako sa itapang at talino mo at ilalabas ang katotohanan sa batas para sa American Citizen at Dynasty. Lito de Torres, mabuhay ka Katoto. Rodi Rabi, sa Jose Martinez, Kodos Dr. Toto, tapang at talino. Baka mateknikal kanyan, alam naman ang kumilik na yan. Romel Bingson, dapat po Dr. Natasha Ricci Tiusas, on skin abap, more power, Attorney Toto. Robbie Rabi, Iwatani, Japan, BBB, lineup, no vote. Omo Reacts, Sunny Day, Lito de Torres, Katuto, si Attorney Claire, kinuha na ni BBM, kaya tumahimik na pagbatikos kay Erwin. Madami na yata disqualification complaint sa mga tulpo, pero malakas ata kapit. Natasha Ricci, Tiosis, night po, sleep na po. Ingat, salamat po. At magandang gabi. Magandang umaga. Magandang gabi, Erwin Tulfo, Ben Tulfo, Rapi Tulfo, Ramon Tulfo. Matulog na tayo.